On this episode of The AutoArchaeologist, we're out in my friend's field looking at a 70 Charger RT, not six-pack car, burnt orange car, air-conditioned, gator grain top, and a lot more. And the crazy thing is, it's on the edge of a farm field. Okay, we're in my friend's farm field, because I don't know if you can tell behind there, that's the farm. I mean, that is where they just cut down the corner. And this right here is on the edge of the field, right before, let's see if I can slow scroll. Right there is the creek. So this is like the little buffer area. But right there is a 1965 Plymouth Satellite. And there's scrap pile. But we're going to go just up the row because it works its way back to the Challenger. And it's cold in October of 2024. November. It's been a long few days. But right here is a 1969 Dodge Charger. 318 car. Nothing too crazy. But it is fairly complete. I'll give you a better view here in a second. That right there is a 65 Satellite two-door. Maybe a Belvedere. Over there is a 6 or 7 Charger. And then here's like a 66 Coronet convertible. Been here a while. Charger. Grill still in. I mean, the grill is, other than the one broken corner, it's in, the rest of the car is in bad shape, but that's pretty good. It's a automatic on the column with bench or bucket seats. May have been a buddy seat car. I'm not going to open it. He asked me not to, the owner, but you can see the back end is pretty rough, but complete. I mean, everything's reproduced for Chargers nowadays, so you could fix this without much issue. I mean, it'd be an issue, but you could get it fixed. That's the back end of the 65 and the Charger. And here is another Dodge Charger. This one a 68. And there's no dash, there's no fender tag. But I think he said this was a 318 car also, or a basic car. Maybe, may have even been a slant 6 car. But in B5 or similar blue. Even had a blue interior because you can see it has the blue steering column. And blue pieces of trim on the inside. Pretty neat car, but it's rough. I mean, again, Charger stuff, you can get it nowadays. But there's a point, I mean, everyone's going to say every Charger should be saved, and I agree. But, I mean, it's legitimately missing the entire back half of the car. I mean, that's pretty bad. But probably my favorite car of the bunch, it's not this 65 Satellite, but this 1970 Dodge Charger. It's a 70 Charger RT 440 automatic car on the floor. It's a 440 car with air conditioning, burnt orange, gator grain top. And you can see here that the car's been sitting out here. As the gator grain eventually deteriorated and flew away, there's still some of it here. It actually left an imprint of rust on the roof. The door doesn't open, but I don't know if you can see real well. The column's there, the dash is there, the console's there, but the seats are out of it. I think they're just inside. There is an engine in here. I don't know what it is. It does have air conditioning though, so it might very well be the original. So, and unfortunately, the windshield is very badly dirty inside and out, so I can't even give you the VIN number breakdown. But I'll show pictures of the front of the car here. Actually, is that disc? No, it is power disc brakes, but it has a small master. That's weird. But this thing is so cool. I saw this car 14 years ago sitting in the back row, and I didn't do it justice. Of course, I only had a little point and shoot taking pictures. A lot better now, but this car always stuck in the back of my mind because it's such a cool combination, being burnt orange, gator grain top, RT, just with weird options. That's just so cool. And then we got a 69 Dart, like a 74 Dodge truck. And then, let me see if I can go around the other side and show you the 70 Charger front side. Oh, I can, okay. See, this is legitimately right by the farm field. Oh, wow, the sun's coming out. Oh, it's a 70 Dart. I'm sorry. I thought it was a 69 here. 70 Dart. Tell by the side marker lights. And then here's the front of the 70 RT. The center part of the grille's missing, but the headlight buckets are still there. See, it's a big block with air conditioning. Fender tag's gone, but what he did was he pulls the fender tags off and keeps them in the house to keep them safe. I'll have to ask him about this one next time. But that is so pretty. Ooh, and now the sun's coming out, making it even nicer. Okay. Only a few more cars left. He used to have a 72 Monaco over here with that really crazy headlight buckets that are like full width. I'll post a picture of it here, but it's gone. He sold that a while back. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And you see here's the stream. Then drove my Challenger out here to the field. Oh, that's right, there's the CUDA and all that here. Hold on. Fast forward this part. No one wants to see me walking. 1973 CUDA. You tell it's a 73 because it has the big 5 mile per hour push bumper. You need some parts, I guess. 8 3/4 still there. Not much else is. And some interior pieces. I don't know why they put it up on the barrel, but they did. And then next to that, 66 Charger, like a 66 Coronet convertible, another 65 Satellite, and then this like Newport or something has been here so long that a giant tree has grown up through it. Absolutely crazy. My friends are pulling some parts from a Scamp that's out here. You can tell right there, it used to say CUDA. But here, I'll go to the last cars out here in the farm field. Because they're working over there, so I won't bother them. But this over here, it's like a 69 Dart, like a 73 Chrysler, like Newport, and a Dodge truck over there. Yeah, 69 Dart. Let's see what it is. It's got a small block in it now. Let's see. P code 273, maybe 318. Bucket seat car though. Ooh, this is 1969 Dodge Dart GT Sport, GTS. I forgot this was out here. Ooh, and the trim panel's still there. Oh, I completely forgot this was here. That is cool. And then the New Yorker. Oh, they pulled the part. Yay, it was stuck in the mud earlier. But 340 car maybe? Not quite sure, but I'll find out. And I'll put it in the bottom of the video. But I hope you all enjoyed this little walk through my friend's yard. And see what goes on next. Of course, now the sun comes out as I'm about to film this 1970 Dodge Charger. It is a base Dodge Charger, even though it does have the chrome around the taillights. It's a base car, 3-3. I think it's a 2-barrel, he said, maybe a 4-barrel. Can't really get to the VIN number over there, but maybe a bucket. I don't think it's the original bench seat to the car. But original F8 green, power disc brake. Here's the engine, and actually, you know, it's in rough shape, but not that rough. This is pretty much the same order that it happened in back in 2009. I was introduced to the owner and we went into the first barn, and that was a shock to my system. Going from expecting just, plain Jane barn finds to Daytonas and, Hemi Chargers and all that stuff. And then the second barn with the big block darts and the Mr. Norm stuff, and to find out that there was even more, that even so we walk right along the behind the barns and there was a few Chargers and Dart and Duster, and then we jumped in the back of his truck and he took us out to the back of the farm field where these cars were stashed up along the stream bed. And this was the little buffer area between the steam bed and the main farm field. It was kind of a no man's land. So he stuck a whole bunch of cars out there, as you can see from the trees growing through it, sometimes 20, 30 years ago, because these were cars that were good for parts for the other projects that he had. Like, he had an original A990 car, he had other Hemi cars, he had Superbirds and Daytonas. So these cars were intended to be parts cars for other projects. That's why they were just sitting out back. Fortunately enough, though, in the time between when we saw them in 2009 and now, he did sell a bunch of them to be rescued and saved. The Roadrunners were all saved out there. That Charger with the really cool writing was saved out there. But he did have a few projects that he needed parts for. Like, he originally had that six-pack Chicago Auto Show car that would need parts. And this 70 Charger RT was perfect for that. So that's why he kept that. Same thing with the 318 69 Charger. He had tons of projects, so he needed 69 Charger parts. Why go buy them when he could have a parts car 30 years ago when the car was a $500 car? But this 68 Charger, you can see, was cut up for restoration of a friend's car. So not everything has gone to waste. You can see he's moved some stuff around. Like this 70 Charger, this used to be next to the barn. Now it's a little bit further out. These cars all have been moved around. The Cuda used to be flat on the ground, but needed parts. So up in the air it went. Obviously, you can see the 70 Charger RT, which used to be in the back row, had been moved forward. For what reason? I'm not sure, but probably to get to other cars. You can see that the 68 Charger, when I was here last year, the car had the entire rear end still. Someone needed it and he sold it. So while these cars aren't for sale currently, he's definitely gone through his collection and seen what he needs, what he doesn't need, what parts will be needed in the future out of what he has and what he doesn't have. So at least things are moving in a positive direction here in the near future. And I'll keep you guys all posted. And kitty cats. Okay, well, let's see how this one goes. Oh, you can still see my breath. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed that video from the field out at my friend's property. When I was there 14 years ago, there was a handful more cars, but he doesn't crush stuff, he sells stuff on occasion. And so a bunch of the cars that you saw in the pictures were sold and moved on to better homes, which we're very fortunate. But my favorites that were in that yard are still there. The 70 Charger RT, I mean, it's a 440 automatic on the floor, gator grain top, burnt orange. It's like, wow. And then a 69 Charger, not a RT, just a basic 69 Charger. I mean, you don't see very many of those with the 318. And then the Dart. I mean, and all the 66, 67. It was a lot to take in, and I was very fortunate that the owner allowed me the opportunity to check them out again because, oh man, you really can see my breath. It's currently 20 degrees here in Chicago, and I'm sitting in front of a heater, but it's not doing a lot in this big uninsulated area. But this is the last video from my friend's property. I have a lot of stuff that I have lined up. This coming week is Christmas and Hanukkah, and then the week after that is New Year's. I have an idea of what I'm going to put out, but I'm not exactly sure. And I do have plans for the New Year's to produce more content. I still have a bunch of stuff to put out about the green car, individual little snippets. I have a lot of content in my archives that I will be releasing, and stuff I even just from this past year that I haven't released. So, and I have a lot of adventures planned. Unfortunately, you can tell a little bit, but from the tire marks, I have the blue car back, and it's running and driving fine. Heat works. Unfortunately, trying to track leaks has been a little bit difficult because I've been driving it in the snow and the rain. So once things dry out a bit, I'll get a better idea, but it looks like it's not leaking anymore, fortunately enough, because the new coolant is like orangish yellow, so you can't really tell real well, when it's on the ground. Like green coolant, you can see real easy, but this one, of course, not. But yeah, if you guys have any comments or questions on what occurred this year, I will be producing a video for obviously the week of Christmas, and then I will have one for the week of New Year's. Maybe I'll do a overview of the year. Not quite sure. You guys let me know what you'd like to see, and I'll put it together, because other than Christmas, I don't have a lot going on. I might travel for New Year's, not sure. We'll see how the weather goes, because as of right now, I don't feel safe driving the minivan long distance. And the Challenger, I could drive long distance. I feel safe in that, but I don't want to drive it in bad weather. So we'll see. I hope everyone has a very happy and healthy holiday season. I will see you all next week. Until then, stay safe.